Hello, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft 1.19 in Middle-earth, my survival series right here. And today, boy, have we got some big plans. Now, I have a lot of farms to build, and I think that everyone probably knows my rocket addiction is going to be pretty high in this series. And so one of the farms that I want to build today is going to be a creeper farm. Now, I've been doing a little bit of research onto creeper farms, and I can see that this sort of section right here, right next to the sugarcane fields, is probably the best place to actually do this. I'm thinking across this section. And my next farm that I want to build for today is going to be a bee farm. That's right, I need bee farms, I need honeycomb, I need honey, and I've been flattening out a place here for everything. Now, I have been back to the end again just to get myself even more shulker boxes. There's even more in here. Oh, and yes, that's right. There's 2 netherite ingots as well. I've been doing some strip mining in the nether, and I've just been, roundabouts collecting everything that I'm gonna need for this series, which again is not merely enough, but it's something, I suppose. I also want to just have a quick look at the sheep farm and just see what's going on. Yep, I'm still getting some problems with the wool, but we have got a lot here. It's really starting to come together, and I'm thinking that the first thing that we do is get ourselves some netherite stuff. I can't wait. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we can do. Where is my... I don't think I have a smithing table in here. Let me have a look. No. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right. So, first of all, let's just address something. I am outgrowing this house so quickly, it is untrue. My little hobbit hole is just not big enough anymore for everything that I've got. You can see that I've had to extend the storage to the bottom here. I'm having to extend all of this storage onto the ground here as well. It's a complete and utter mess. I need a storage system. And ironically, that's the other thing that I want to do in today's episode, is build ourselves a massive storage system for everything that we've got here. So I can actually have some space again, so I could run back and forth without having to run into bells and stuff lying around the place. It really is a mess. I promise you, in real life, I'm nothing like this. So I think the first thing that we want to do is to make some upgraded weapons. Now, I have my Silk Touch pickaxe, which is probably the one thing that I use the most, and then also an actual axe, because wood gathering in this game is essential. So I'm thinking the first thing that we do is upgrade our pickaxe, and then finally our axe. There we go. Those are the 2 main tools that I always tend to use, and now they are nice and netherite-y. Oh, and yeah, it breaks things instantly, which I completely forgot. There we go, we'll just put that back there. So, what are we going to do first then today? I think today we get stuck into a little bit of beekeeping. I have been creating a little design just in a creative test world for what I want to make, and it's going to be pretty big. It's going to stretch from there to here, which I don't mind, to be honest with you. And I've got everything. Oh no, that's my copper. The shears, some beehives, which are just here as well. All of these beehives have 3 bees each in them, so that's probably the extent of how big this farm is actually going to be. My redstone box, and then a few other things I'm going to need, and then some building materials just to get us where we want to be. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. Now, I'm not going to take you through this, but I will bring you back in once it's done so we can discuss a little bit of the magical redstone that I have taken from somebody else, because Lord knows I am not good at redstone. There's no chance that I would be able to even make this by myself, but all credit will go to that person once it's done. So if you are all ready, I think it's about time that we kick this whole thing off with the first time lapse of today's episode. If you're ready, set, build! And we're back. Welcome back. From the time lapse, it is done. Finally, I have finished this build, and I have to admit, it looks pretty cute, right? I mean, it's green, it's obviously, you know, in keeping with the theme, and if we take a sort of look up from the top and see around, see, look, it blends in really well with the surroundings. I've stuck in a few more trees just in this area. I've also bone mealed the ground, and I've just kind of made it look a little bit more like it's lived in. But let's have a look on the inside and see what's going on. So it's a bit hectic, but I kind of like it like this, to be honest with you. It looks like a real sort of apiary. And at either side, so in these dome-like styles, I've put in the mechanical units, if you will, that will create the honeycomb. So these ones. The way it works is actually quite simple. And in fact is probably more similar to the sheep farm, and if you take a look at it here you can actually see. So you have a chest at the bottom here which leads into a hopper, well, a hopper that leads into a chest, the other way around, and then on top of that you have a rail cart. On top of that is the hive, and then at the back is a dispenser, and this dispenser is filled with shears. So then at the top you've got a solid block, redstone dust, which goes into an observer. So what the observer does is it checks that every time this fills up, it produces obviously full-blown honey. It's ready to be harvested. This kicks in. It sends a redstone pulse down here into there, which shears it, and then it's picked up in there straight away. And it's actually quite good. It's pretty fast, to be honest with you. I have 4 across this section, and I've got 3 across this section, which I've wired wrong. That's why they're not working. And then another 4 here. So, you know, there's quite a few. And then I've scattered around some more beehives just for decoration, and then some glowberries, some spore blossoms, just to really make this place kind of stand out and look really cool. I really like it. So this is the honey bottle collection system. So you have dispensers, which have got a ton of glass bottles in them, then the hive, then the hopper, and then of course the chest, which is where they basically pop out into. The mechanics are a little bit confusing for me in a way, sort of, but you have comparators here which are basically measuring the redstone signal being put out by this block here, and then this is just to convert it across. And then you've got the redstone, which will lead up a glass block, because glass blocks are technically transparent, and then you run the redstone across to the observer. So what the observer is going to do is it's going to, not the observer, the dispenser. So what the comparator is going to do is check the signal of this block here. Once this reaches the right signal, it will send a pulse all the way up to the top here, and then this will collect the honey and drop it down into here because it's got nowhere else to go. It's actually quite smart when you think about it. You don't need an observer, and because we know that this outputs a redstone signal of 5, if you have 5 redstone dust across the top, then that is a 5 signal. Easy as that, 5 by 5. And what we're effectively getting is a good output of honey blocks. And then I've also put down an ender chest, a bed, some more storage as well, just to obviously put things in. But at the moment in time, I love it. I really do think this is probably one of the better parts of my builds. I know it's a bit late, but hey, you know, sometimes better late than never, right? So we have even more to do though. I am not finished today, that's for sure. We have now got to get a creeper farm going, because this right here is the last stack of rockets that I have. And yeah, it's not going to go well, to be honest with you. Be prepared, because it's going to be another time lapse, but it's going to be worth it. I'll try and make this one quick, but if you're ready when I am, let's get building this creeper farm. Ah, okay, well. Oh, excuse me for one moment. There we go. Hi, it's me from the editing room. Funny thing happened whilst I was editing this video. Yeah, the time lapse was corrupted. So instead of us watching the time lapse, maybe we just cut straight in to where we left off and just carry on the video from there. These things happen. I do apologize. Anyway, moving on with the rest of the video. I will get back to editing it now. And here it is. I suppose the best way of explaining this is that this is actually a mob drop farm more than it is a creeper farm, but you know, I'm not going to stand here and fight in semantics, but you can see them all falling to their doom. And I've got the connection system up at the top here, which is just basically an etho hopper clock. And what it effectively does is you've got two comparators at either side, and then I've got about 40 redstone blocks, some sticky pistons, and then music pumpy thing here, and then underneath there is an observer and another observer. And if you know anything about redstone, you know how this works, but effectively the items from this side jump into this side. These comparators measure the redstone level from each of these, and what happens is when this gets to too much and this one is 0, it will shift this across to the other side like that, and then they'll start emptying into the other side. And then you basically have redstone here, which just powers the whole thing across. I did have to watch a tutorial on this because I have no clue how this whole thing works. Personally, I'm just trying to explain it as best as I can do. But as it currently stands, it's actually quite beneficial. Now, as for drops, they are just underneath here, and I just need to build an actual platform just to get to them because, yes, I removed the current platform. So just give me one moment and we will get that sorted. Okay, so as you can see, we have got quite a few things. I don't know why there's a raw chicken in there, but some of this stuff is just from when I was building everything, but we're starting to get a few things in here now. I think what I'll probably want to do is to build an actual storage unit where everything just starts to get sorted automatically, because this is just a little bit too random for my liking. And I think it would make more sense if everything just went into the proper chests. But for the time being, it will have to do. I'm not necessarily 100% pleased with it, but it is what it is for the moment. As long as I can get a good amount of gunpowder, I am happy. And as it stands, I've got 9 gunpowder here. I can make myself some more rockets. So, you know, we're getting there. There's nothing too much for me to worry about just yet. I do want to sort of redo this entire tower because, yeah, it's so bad. No one should have to take a look at these kind of towers, to be honest with you. They always look terrible. I'm thinking of boxing the whole thing in, and then I'm thinking of creating a watchtower out here in the middle of the ocean, but something more like brick rather than the wood that we're so used to seeing. Still have to do something with this, but you know, we're getting there. However, there is one more thing that I think we have to do today, and yes, that is sort out my storage system. It's an absolute mess. Now, as for location of where I want this thing to be, I know I definitely want it in and around these fields areas, just because I want to incorporate pretty much most of this section into what is effectively my little village over there. And when you take a look up high, I know I'm wasting a lot of rockets. I'm acting like my gunpowder farm is like, you know, working full time. It's not. But can you see this hill? This is what I really want to make as my storage area. Now, I know that as we sort of look over in this section around here, we can see that there are 2 things which are already led into this hill. First one is this little hobbit hole here, which I don't mind, but I don't really like the actual front of it in the way of using it as a storage system. I just think it looks a bit too bland, it looks a bit too boring. And then we've got over here the actual villager breeder. And again, that sinks into this part of the mountain as well. So I can't really go too far. And in fact, I think that taking a look here, I would probably say this comes back to at least this part here, and then that's probably about the same. So up until where this part is probably where I don't want to be going any further, which may seem like that's not going to be a lot, but actually it still incorporates the entirety of this section here. And then we just have to be careful about that, but that's nothing in between. So I put a lamp here where I kind of wanted to get this whole thing started. And I'm definitely thinking that we start from the outside in, because that's probably more my sort of style, to be honest with you. But I'm also thinking this is going to be another time lapse. I know at this point in time, it's kind of like, oh, we're sick of the time lapses already. But at the same time, these kind of episodes, they have to happen because you just need to get through it. There's a lot of building that has to be done. And unfortunately, that does mean that you just kind of have to power on through, get the whole thing sorted, and, you know, just just go for it in the form of a time lapse. However, I think I am flying around a little bit too much and just getting on with things a little bit too much as well. So I'm thinking that the first thing that we do right now is jump straight into it. We are going to be building this thing out. I can't wait for you to see it. It's going to look really cool, I promise. Are you ready? Time lapse number 3, now. And welcome back from the time lapse. I have been messing around with this front bit just a little bit because I'm not 100% sure how I want this to look on the outside. This is obviously where the wooden planks are, and then this is the main entrance point, and I'm just sort of digging around wildly just to try and find a way of making this look a little bit more presentable. Like, do I take out this mount here? Do I sort of bring it the whole 9 yards and start sloping it down? I'm not 100% sure yet, but this is it finished. And yes, this is everything in terms of my storage. I have emptied my hobbit hole house. It is empty completely, and everything now sits and rests in here. And it may look a little bit smaller in this section, but that's because it goes all the way around this side. It's huge. I've added some spore blossoms just to make it sort of look pretty cool and give that kind of really awesome particle effect. I've just started putting everything into the boxes here. As you can see, the terracotta, I've got stuff from the end, the nether, and then little bits and bobs of stuff. So for example, where I've been trading with villagers, yep, there is a lot of rubbish in there. My iron farm, obviously what's been producing, and then all sorts of other stuff as well. For example, like stations, yeah, just a massive amount of things that I'm gonna need. And of course, there is so much space to keep adding to this as well. I mean, if we take a look around, there is still so many areas that have still not been filled. For example, all of this back bit, this side bit as well. There is literally so much space. But it also means that I actually have the opportunity to breathe a little, and I can come in here, I can craft stuff up. I've got a full ender chest of boxes, even more at the side here. I keep going back to the end just to get more alliance sugar. Yes, this is going to suit me down to the ground, and I think that this will even see me through quite a bit of the next few steps of where I'm wanting to be going. But that does mean that the front bit is still yet to be finished, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do for it, to be honest with you. But what I do know is this has been a very, very build intensive episode. Literally, I have done nothing but build, and as it currently stands, I'm kind of bored of building at this point in time. And what I think I will be getting on with, what I think I'm going to be doing just over the next few days, is having a mess around, just, you know, sort of adjusting things, changing some stuff up, and just lazily going about it. You can see how empty it is. It looks like I've been robbed. But yes, I just have my little golem friend, and that's about it now. A pretty barren home. Well, it kind of needed to happen, to be honest with you, especially as we plan the next few stages. But with all of that being said, and with everything being done, it is time to end the episode here, you guys. Literally, I have been building non-stop, day by day, just to get all of this sort of stuff finished. And I have been having to plan stuff, sort stuff out, go around and, oh god, just get actual resources, which is always going to be the biggest drain of time in this game, to be honest with you. But I am super happy with where we're at the moment in time. So, what will we be doing in the next episode? I hear you all asking. Well, there may be a little bit of building, but I don't think we're going to focus too much on that. We still have this tower to get finished. We still have this to adjust and to make fits within the confines of this world. I think we have some more fields here that need to be sorted out and, you know, just made part of everything that's going on. The entrance to our item system, to our storage room, you know, it looks amazing on the outside. It looks terrible on the inside. It looks wrong way around. See, I've been building for too long. It looks amazing on the inside. It looks absolutely terrible on the outside. And who knows? Perhaps maybe I might add a little bit of excitement into the next episode, because we have now officially got so much wool that I have no idea what to do with. Except I do have an idea what to do with. We may trace the deep dark? And if that's not an ominous sign, I don't know what is. Anyway, you guys, this has been an amazing episode, and I want to thank you all for coming along and watching. If you've liked what you've seen here today, make sure that you smash that like button, because I need all the help I can get. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, and ding the bell so you can be so you can be notified every time I upload. And of course, we are going to be doing so much in this world. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. But until next time, you guys, I'm Buster UV, and I can't wait to see you all here again next week. I'll see you then, guys. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.